we're going to be talking habits. Habits to start before the end of the year. I want to encourage you to use this momentum of this time of year where you feel all motivated to get your life together. Excuse me, cat, not now. To use that energy to get yourself in the best possible mindset to start 2024 and to keep building up on top of those habits. Cat, please. So these habits are small, they're fun to do most of the time, and I'm rambling, so let's just get into this. Happens when I don't write a script for my videos. I go on the ramble train. First habit is to start building your recipe list. A lot of us will probably have the idea that we want to be more healthy in the year to come, but in order to be more healthy, you will need healthy recipes. Recipes to fall back on that you know are good for you, but also you know how to make. That will make it a lot easier to cook them when you don't have energy or no brain power to decide on what you want to eat. So I suggest you create a habit of either just looking through cookbooks and building up your Pinterest board if you want to keep this really low effort. Or, which could also be fun, is that you make a habit of trying 1 or 2 new recipes a week. You might even have friends over at this time of year, and when the new year comes, you already know what kind of healthy recipes that you like. Habit number 2 is to start putting yourself first. And that's easier said than done, of course, but this holiday period is actually the perfect moment to start practicing it. You will be out of your comfort zone quite a lot with family parties, work parties, seeing people that you don't often see, and family. Family can be challenging. Try to put yourself out there a little bit more. Come out for that weird, quirky interest that you have. Wear the clothes that you are afraid of getting judged on. Why? Because this will make it a whole lot easier to next year, when you're building big dreams, big goals, to commit to those without being afraid that your family might judge you on it. They might judge, but we're learning not to care during this holiday season. Third habit is, it's between a habit and a chore, and it's to clean out all of your productivity apps. They tend to look like one big tangled mess by the end of the year because there's so many unchecked things that are no longer relevant. So try to commit to a little bit of time every day, or do it all in one go to clear them out, to optimize them again so they're all ready to go for 2024. It could also be a fun period to try some new ones out to see which system actually works best for you. Habit number 4 is for all the journaling guys and gals out there. If you are a frequent journaler, this exercise called question journaling might actually be a fun switch up for this time of year. So instead of just going over your regular journaling practice, we're going to be question storming. So instead of brainstorming, we're going to try to come up with all kinds of questions from our life. If this is something that you're interested in, I would highly recommend that you check out the book A More Beautiful Question, or you find something on YouTube or Pinterest that will help you get started with this. But why is question journaling so great? When you write down all these questions and when you ask yourself the right questions, it will help your brain to, in the background, come up with answer for this already. This is especially great when we're trying to decide what our goals will be next year, so we're not putting them randomly. Habit number 5 is to schedule regular check-ins with your friends. This time of year tends to be all about family. Sometimes our friends get a little forgotten, and that is why I think that it's a nice time of year to already start practicing this habit. It adds a little joy, it helps you to create memories, and it's just overall a good time. This is one of the habits that I absolutely want to carry over into 2024 as well, but why not start it now? Habit number 6 kind of ties in with habit number 2 by putting yourself out there, and it's to try to build self-love. And it's really taking the time to practice what self-love actually is. This time of year tends to be a little challenging. We tend to disappoint ourselves quite a bit. That's why it's a great time to learn how to handle that, to learn how to emotionally support yourself, how to get out of your shame spirals. And a little tip that can help you do this is to start by noticing it. If you go into that spiral of, oh no, I had way too many holiday cookies, I really shouldn't have done that, I'm a disgusting person, I will never be skinny, blah, 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 blah. You see where we're going? Try to just notice in the beginning and be like, oh, I'm doing it again. I am judging myself again. I am ashamed of myself again. And that is enough for the beginning. You might not get further than that. But as time goes on, it will be easier to also change that behavior, because the art of noticing will then help you snap out of it. And by doing that, you learn to take better care of yourself, and you start trusting yourself to take emotional care of yourself. And that in turn will help to support yourself when you're working on that much bigger goals and dreams in the year to come. Habit number 7 is to focus on the things that you can control. The holiday period can be challenging. Life in general can be challenging. But if we spend our time worrying about the things that we cannot control, we will become so much more unhappy. So try to be mindful to focus on those things that you can control. If your family members are being absolute menaces at Christmas, let it be. You can control to take yourself out of that situation. You can control which holiday parties you go to. You can focus on drinking your margaritas. But this goes in a bigger way as well. If you are in a horrible work environment, focus on those little pockets of your day that you can control, because it will make you feel better. It will create little pockets of happiness. And if we feel like we have a little bit more control of our lives by focusing on those things, it will also lead to a more fulfilling life overall. And sometimes those small little things can snowball into a big change. Habit number 8 is to create habit menus and get in the habit of using them. And I think this time of year is great to test it out, not only to prepare for next year, but also because the holiday season can be so hectic and so exhausting. If you have been around on the channel for a while, you have heard me talk about habit menus before, but I realized that I didn't really tell you how to build a proper habit menu. So I really want to take the time in this video to quickly explain that to you. So let's say that you want to read for an hour every day. We're going to put that as our high energy day goal, because we don't want to be pushing ourselves to the limit every single day. Normal energy days, you're going to have that amount. It is fine if you read more, but you don't have to. So let's say if you wanted to do an hour, for a normal energy day, it's half an hour. Then for those low energy days, we're going to have that again. So then you come to 15 minutes of reading. And for those days where you feel like absolute crap, you're going to create a 1-minute version of that habit. So that would be reading one line of that book or one page, depending on how fast you read. And that's all you're gonna do. And that is fine, because that is why we created this habit. We set it for this specific energy level. No shame involved. And if you get in the practice of getting used to these menus and already knowing how to set a good menu, you're setting yourself up for success for your habits in 2024. Habit number 9 is to focus on the art of noticing. Noticing the little moments around you. Noticing the people that are important to you. Noticing the beauty in the world. And this can be done in different ways. For some people it's journaling, for others it's meditation, and for me and for a lot of other people it's content creation. It's taking videos, it's taking pictures, it's capturing those memories. Also helps you to see beauty in the world. I no longer complain about the weather when it's raining. I appreciate the moody vibes and the good pictures that I can get out of it. And then the last habit is also kind of noticing, but in a different way. It's to create the habit that whenever something annoys you during the month of December, is to write it down. Maybe it is something small, like not having a place to put your shoes, and so the hallway always becomes a mess. Or your couch is really not comfortable, or your house is located in a really bad area and it takes you 2 hours to get to work and you hate that. It can range from small things to big things, but we're doing this so we actually have something to build our goals and habits for next year upon. Mainly because it's scientifically proven that if you base your habits off of problems that you have, you are far more likely to stick to them, because they immediately have an impact on your life. And that were all 10 habits that I had for you. If you are thinking like, oh my god, how am I going to find all the time to do this? I actually made a video about it. Another shameless self-plug, but go check it out. And I will see you tomorrow. Toodaloo!